Good morning, everybody. We are out here in Jacksonville at the Hastings residence, and we're going to do a final walkthrough of their backyard project. The major focus of this job was the fact that we were trying to create a soccer field for their younger sons, and this grass is Bermuda grass, which can be kept very short, and for that reason it makes a very good ball field. And as you can see in the background, there's a golf course behind me, and they coincidentally also have Bermuda grass out in the golf course. So we did a lot of grading on this project. We put in over 20 yards of soil to try get the area where the sons would be playing soccer off on my right here to be flat enough that it would serve as a good ball practice area. And as you can see, the entire lot does slope towards my back, but we tried to raise it subtly so that we could get a smoother surface for them to play ball on. In conjunction with doing that, having 3 boys and I believe a daughter as well, they don't have a lot of time to do yard maintenance, so we installed a rock bed off to my left. That's Colorado River rock. It's in the gray tone, which is kind of nice to go with a white house, so it's not contrasting with a tan rock with a white house, so that works out well. We've got a crepe myrtle on this western facing side of the house that will help provide some shade in the windows where they have their eating area. And then we've got some repurposed liriope. We've got some blue days. So here we have a plant that I haven't used a lot, which is it's a nice southern plant. It's an evergreen, it's an alternative look to boxwood. So it has a smaller leaf and it's called distillum. And it keeps relatively low, and as an evergreen it makes a nice foundational plant and will tolerate full sun. So this gets pretty hot western sunlight at the end of the day. So it's a plant we're trying here. We'll see how this one goes, and if it works well for us, we'll be using it in further jobs. As you can look back over here, we've got a house across from the golf course. So we installed podocarpus, and with the idea being if he wants to raise the canopy high enough to kind of take the edge off of that house, he can, but he also has a tee box right off to the side here, and he gets a lot of golfers obviously traveling through here, so these podocarpus will make a green wall which will help kind of mute the noise and the guys driving through in their golf cars. So as you look up the hill, you can see the kids have a great expanse of turf to play on. 100+ feet of good usable surface right here, and this isn't completely knitted yet, but over the next few weeks it will knit and you won't see the patchwork that you see right now. We get a lot of questions concerning installing turf this time of year, and we're in November now, and a lot of people are hesitant to do that. And what they really need to know is the fact that the ground stays warm for quite some time going into the winter, much longer than the air does. So by installing grass at this time of year, the roots are doing all kinds of good things unseen to anybody, and so that come next spring, when the air temperature starts to come back up, the grass has a good root system established that it will take off really quickly in the springtime. Whereas conversely, if you're thinking, gee, we're going to wait till spring, the ground is probably at its coolest in February and early March, and you put sod down at that point, the roots don't really want to take bite, and then the air gets warm and the grass hasn't got a good foundation to work with. So I'd say up until early December, this is still a really great time to be installing turf here. And underneath of this turf, we've done a couple other things. We've used a product called Command. It's a compost material specifically geared for getting new turf established. And we put a layer of that over the entire area where the turf is. And we also, as I've mentioned in previous videos, will come through and we will do a fungal treatment on this turf, knowing that initially there's going to be heavy watering. We don't charge for that, but that's part of our process of installing turf. And lastly, we actually do warrant the turf. So it's for at least a month. If something catastrophic were to happen, you at least are covered, which is far better than any other companies do locally. So one of the aspects of Bermuda grass is the fact that it does tend to want to creep. So it's necessary to use edging, and we've got bender board here. Anytime you use rock as a bed cover, you also need to use edging to keep your lawn guy from getting killed from the rocks. So this makes for a very nice, clean looking edge. They'll be able to run the mowers right up to the edge of this and then trim this, and the grass won't creep and the rocks won't spill out. So whenever you use rock, always use edging for safety's sake. This yard is now soccer and flamingo worthy, and I thank you for stopping in, and we will see you at the next one.